Welcome to the Livingston Parish Algebra 1 EOC review. Tonight we'll be working North Carolina practice exam, questions 22 to 39. We're just about there. We're just about finished. Thank you for working so hard. I believe all your hard work is going to pay off, and I think that you're going to have an excellent EOC score. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, this is Dennis's function, and it's f of x. Okay, and then here is another function. This is g of x. And they want us to compare the y-intercepts. Well, this is easy to see that the y-intercept here is 5. Okay, let's look at g. We know that at the y-intercept, x is equal to 0. So it looks to me like the next number in this progression would be 1, which means that g of x would be 6. And so we want to find 0. That's halfway between -1 and 1. Midpoint, what do? Add them together, divide by 2. So 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. That tells you when x is 0, y is 5.5. Okay, and the question is, what is the difference when the y-intercept of f of x, 5, is subtracted from the y-intercept of g of x, which was 5.5? Okay, if you subtract that, okay, 5.5, take away 5, we know that we get 0.5. So your answer would be C. Okay, this next one. Cell company Y charges a startup fee, okay, of $10 plus 10 cents per minute. Okay, x, they want us to use x. Okay, company Z charges just 20% per minute with no startup fee. Okay, which function best represents the difference in cost between company Y and company Z? Difference means to subtract. So company Y was 10 plus 0.10x. We're going to subtract Z, which was 0.20x. That gives you 10 minus 0.10x, and that's a positive 10. That's the same thing as saying negative 0.10x plus 10. That would be B. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, she's conducting 2 experiments, and they want to know how they're increasing. Well, in experiment 1, let's see, that went up 5, that went up 6, that went up 4, that went up 4, that went up 9. I don't really see any linear or constant pattern there at all. Let's look at experiment 2. That went up 1.5. That one went up 3. Ah, look what it's doing. It's doubling each time. Ah, so it's not just going up, it's doubling. Geometric. 1.5 times 2 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 times 2. All of them times 2. And remember, geometric and exponential mean the same thing. Okay, so if we look at the choices, they are both not changing at a constant rate. They're both not exponential. I don't know what that is, but it's not exponential. Okay, method 2 is not changing at a constant rate. That means linear. Method 2 is changing exponentially. D would be our answer. Once again, on your scratch paper, write A, B, C, D, and then mark them out as you know that you cannot get the answer. Circle the one you have in case there's a power failure or an electronic glitch. You will have all your work without having to rework the problems. Okay, let's see. Mario compared the slope of a function to the linear function. Okay, this function had an x-intercept of 4/3 and a y-intercept of -2, and they're not showing us that one. Okay, all right, so we're going to have to find the slope of this function. We know that whenever you have an x-intercept, y is equal to 0. At the y-intercept, x equals to 0. Okay, we can find the slope between these 2 points for that function by using the slope formula. And once again, the slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, let's plug in our stuff. Y from the second is -2. Y from the first is 0. Okay, x from the second is 0. X from the first is 4/3. -2 minus 0 is -2 divided by -4/3. You can do this on a calculator, although it's a good idea to remember how to do this without a calculator. That means -2 divided by -4/3 because it's a complex fraction. That's the same thing as -2 times -3/4, because when we divide by a fraction, we leave the first one, we change the second sign to multiply, and then we flip the third. Leave, change, flip. Okay, and we can cross multiply. 2 will go in itself once, and it'll go twice there. Okay, you've got opposite of a negative. Okay, so it becomes positive. So the slope of that line was 3/2. So this line they were talking about, the slope was 3/2. This one's a whole lot easier to tell. We can just count rise over run. Okay, all right. We rise up 1. We run over 3. So that line has a slope of 1/3. The question is, which function has the smaller slope? Well, it's this one with a 1/3 because 1/3 is smaller than 3/2. Okay, boiling water. Okay, which describes the meaning of the slope, and that is, okay, and that looks like it's degrees per feet because degrees was temperature and then A was feet. So first of all, since that rate of change is negative, we know the boiling point is not going to be increasing as your altitude increases. Okay, your boiling point is going to decrease as your altitude increases. Okay, and that is our rate of change. It's -0.0018. Now they want us to base this on 1,000 feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that as a decimal using our place value. This is tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. Okay, so this is 0018 over 10,000, or 18 over 10,000. So I can get rid of those leading zeros. That's 18 10,000ths. But they want it in thousandths. I know that if I move the decimal here one place to the left, I have thousandths. But if I move the decimal one place there, I have to do it there also. Okay, so that is going to be our answer. It's going to decrease 1.8 degrees as the altitude increases 1,000 feet. Okay, so D would be your answer. Okay, a line segment has these endpoints. Okay, and K is the midpoint of JL. What is the equation of a line perpendicular to JL passing through K? Okay, first of all, they want a perpendicular. I know the slopes will be opposite reciprocals. And they say K is the midpoint of those two, and the point needs to pass through it. So I need to know the value of K. I need to know what point that is, and they're talking midpoint. Midpoint, midpoint, what do? That's right, add them together, divide by 2. So 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 plus 8 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So that is the midpoint. So we want a equation of a line passing through the point 4, 6. The next thing we have to do is we have to figure out what the slope is going to be. Okay, well, first of all, it's going to be perpendicular to that red line. So we can find the slope of that red line by using the slope formula. I recommend when you take the EOC, if there's a formula for it, even though no one might be checking your scratch work, if there's a formula for it, write that formula every time and carefully fill things in. I have known of people missing points on tests because they just didn't copy the formula, they got in a hurry, and they didn't fill stuff in correctly, even though they knew what they were doing. Okay, so let's see, y from the second would be 8, y from the first would be 4. X from the second would be 6. X from the first would be 2. So that's going to be positive 4 over 4. So the slope of this red line they've been talking about is positive 1. Okay, we are looking for a line perpendicular to it, so we need the opposite reciprocal. We know the reciprocal of 1 is 1, because 1 times 1 is 1. You just flip that over, you still get 1, but we want the opposite reciprocal, so we are looking for a line that has a slope of negative 1. Automatically, I can see the answer is going to be either A or B. I can cross out these two. Now, to find the y-intercept, remember the formula for y-intercept is y equal mx plus b. We're going to plug in negative 1 for x. They said that this contains that midpoint, so we can plug in 4 for x, 6 for y. That gives you 6 equals negative 4 plus b. Add 4, and that gives you b is 10. So we are looking for the line y equal to negative 1x plus 10. So A would be our answer. I also want to mention it to you, a lot of times when you're taking standardized tests, if you are really stuck and have trouble doing these, another possibility might be to actually just take the graph paper that you're given and graph that out. Let me show you how you could do this one, okay, just by using graph paper. Okay, I'm going to pull some graph paper up. Okay, if you recall, okay, they're saying, okay, that the line, okay, is going to be perpendicular to a line, okay, that contains 2, 4, and 6, 8. Okay, and if you connect those carefully, okay, and then count your rise over run, okay, you can see that this line has a slope of positive 1. Okay, we know also the midpoint is 4, 6. Okay, we want a line perpendicular to that, so we're looking for a slope of negative 1. So you go up 1 to the left 1, 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 and look, you get a y-intercept of 10. So that black line that I just drew, its equation is negative 1x plus 10. A lot of times on standardized tests, if you just draw the picture, a lot of times you can figure out the answer just by doing that. Okay, number 28, we do not have to worry about that for our EOC. Let's look at 29. Okay, they want to add Delaware. Delaware is about the size of Livingston Parish, actually. Okay, very small state. Okay, you blink and you go through it. Okay, Delaware. It has an area of 2,000 square miles. Okay, we know that if we include that in a data set, okay, it is going to, let's say that we have these others on a box and whisker, and then we add Delaware. It's probably going to be an outlier because it's so small. Okay, all right, which is true. The mean increases. That is false. Okay, when we put that 2 in there with those others, it's going to pull the mean down. The mean is going to decrease. Okay, the range decreases is false. The range, remember, is the highest minus the lowest. Okay, and it was 54 minus 9, or rather, I'm sorry, 59 minus 9. The range was 50. Now it's going to be 59 minus 2, 57. The range actually increases. Okay, the interquartile range decreases. Okay, that probably is not true because it's an outlier. The interquartile range is still going to stay here. Okay, so that's not going to count. Standard deviation remember means average deviation from the mean. Okay, and the mean is somewhere over in here, and the deviation from the mean is increasing because you are going further from the mean with that one there. Remember, the more spread out your data is, the greater the standard deviation. So that would be your answer. Number 30. Okay, how many more seniors than juniors were included in the survey? Well, first of all, we need to find out how many juniors we had. We know that 10% of the people surveyed chose music, 6% movies, 8% sports. So altogether, if you add those percents together, we know that 24% of the people surveyed were juniors. We can do the same thing for seniors. 8% plus 9% is 17% plus 10%. 27% of the people surveyed were seniors. Now let's find out exactly how many that was. Okay, 3,500 people were surveyed. So on our calculator, we're going to do 24% of those people were juniors. Of means multiply. So altogether, there were 840 juniors. Okay, and 27% of those people were seniors. 27% of 3,500 people surveyed. $945 seniors, and they want to know how many more seniors than juniors, so we do 945 minus 840, and the answer is 105. B would be your answer. Okay, let's look at this one now. This book club has 200 members. Okay, all right, which statement is true? Okay, I'm just kind of glancing, and I notice that there's 200 members here. Okay, all right. It's okay. If you look at the choices, 6 more 31 to 40-year-olds than 21 prefer fiction. Okay, let's see. So 32% of the 21 to 30-year-olds, so I need to do 32% times 200, and when you do that on your calculator, you get 64. Okay, and then the 31 to 40-year-olds, okay, preferred fiction, okay, that would be 0.38 times 200, and when you do that, that's going to give you 76. Okay, and that's false. It's way, let's see, that's actually 8 more, not 6 more. 76 minus 64 is actually 12 more, not 6 more, so that can't be right. Okay, 38 members are 31 to 40 years old and prefer fiction. That is false. We know that is not the number, that is the percent. Okay, and we know that actually that's 76 people. Okay, 43 members are 21 to 30 years old. That is incorrect. It's 43% of 200. Okay, and the correct answer is 86 people are in that age group. Let's look at this one. 140 members prefer fiction. Well, here's our fiction, and the total people who said they prefer fiction is 70%. 70% of 200, okay, is 140. So D was the correct answer. Okay, the slope in this linear model, they're telling us linear, so we need to look for linear. Look, it's going up 25 each time, and the distance is going up 20 each time. So it's a constant rate, that's a good sign, it's linear. Okay, and remember time is normally our x or our dependent variable. So you do your rise, which would be y, over run. That can be reduced. 5 goes into 24 times, 5 goes into 25 times. Okay, and remember that y was miles, and then x was minutes. So this is 4 miles for every 5 minutes. C would be your answer. Okay, number 33. They want the area of this trapezoid, and they give us this formula. It's half times height. The height is 4. Base 1 plus base 2. So base 1 is x minus 3 plus base 2, x plus 7. Well, half times 4 is 2. And if we add this, it'll be 2x. Negative 3 plus 7 is 4. Okay, and then we multiply that out, and that would be 4x. 2 times 4 is 8. So your answer is 4x plus 8. Okay, and number 34 is a constructive response question on steroids. It is a major question. It's worth talking about, though. Okay. All right, and I'm going to okay. What you've got here is you've got a system of linear inequalities. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to graph this system the best I can, and what I want to do is I will need to draw a line. Let's see if I can draw a little better. I need to draw a quadrant. You can use your graph paper that they give you. Okay, we have two variables. We'll call the x-axis the pens and the y-axis the pencils. Okay, and looking at this information, it says a total of less than 300 packs of pens and pencils are produced each day. Okay, so that means at most they could produce, okay, this means x plus y has got to be less than 300. If x is the pens, y is the pencils, it's got to be less than 300. Okay, that means at most you could make 300 packs of pens a day, no pencils. So these are going to be hundreds. Or you could make 300 packs of pencils, no pens. That would be your y-intercept. And we know that that line is going to be dashed because it says less than. Okay, and we know also that we will be shading down. So your solution region will be somewhere underneath this. Okay. Now it says the company produces at least 100 packs of pens a day, but no more than 240. So it produces at least 100 packs of pens per day, but no more than 240. Okay, so that's this region in here. Okay. It also says it produces at least 70 packs of pencils a day. So 70 would be here. But no more than 170. So that would be here. Okay, and I'm going to shade down. So that is my solution region. And like I said, this is a problem on steroids. It's good if you can learn, if you can understand it, but if you can't, or if you're too busy or too stressed, you can decide what you want to do about it, but I'm going to work it. Okay, so this is the solution region in here. Okay, all right. All right, that's the solution region in there. Okay, I know that my maximum profit is going to be where we have corners. So that's a possible solution. The other possible solution is right there. Okay, that was 170 pencils, which was the Y number. They can produce no more than 300, so 170 plus 130 would make 300, so the most number of pens they could make would be 129 packs. That adds up to 299. The only other possible solution would be right there on that corner. That's 240 pens. Okay, 240 plus 60 equals 300, but the most they can make is less than 300, so the most number of pencils they'd be able to make would be 59. So our answer is either going to be here or here. This is how we're going to find our profit now. Okay, we're going to try out those two values, 129 pens, 170 pencils, or 240 packs of pens, 59 pencils. Okay, so we're going to use, okay, all right. So if they make 129 packs of pens, the profit's $1.25 per pack. So 129 times $1.25. Back up and put $1 there. Plus 170 packs of pencils, and the profit is 75 cents per pack. Press enter. Okay, and that will be the profit that they make, and I don't see that choice. Okay, let's try this choice here. I'm going to go back up, second enter to save typing. Okay, 240 packs of pens, $1.25 per pack. plus 59 packs of pencils at 75 cents per pack. Okay, and we get that answer. Okay, so B is the choice. That will be the maximum profit. Once again, this was a problem on steroids. If you can go through it and understand it, it might be valuable to do. Otherwise, just shake it off. Okay, let's look at this next one. Okay, John bought 4 pounds of almonds for a total cost of $22. This is all going to be about prices per pounds and stuff. We might as well go ahead and find out what they're charging for those. So $22 for 4 packs. That's $5.50 per pound. So almonds, a pound is $5.50. Okay, the cost per pound for cashews is 60% more than the cost per pounds for almonds. So in other words, they're going to charge you $5.50 plus 60% more. So back to our calculator. Almonds are $5.50. And then cashews are 60% more. Okay, so those things are $8.80 per pound. I won't be buying too many of those. Okay. All right. Okay, John bought enough cashews that he mixed them with the almonds. The mixture had a value of $650 per pound. Okay, so let's see. We already know, okay, that the almonds, he bought 4 pounds for a total cost of $22. Okay, and then he bought some cashews. They cost $8.80 per pound. Let's let C be the number or the weight of the cashews. Okay, and let's see. Altogether, okay, the mixture had a value of $6.50 per pound. Okay, and that was 4 pounds of almonds plus those cashews. So let's solve now. So that'd be 22 plus 880C. If you do 650 times 4, that is 26 plus 650C. And if we subtract 22 from both sides, you get 880C is equal to 4 plus 650C. Subtract 650C. And that gives you 230C equal to 4. Divide by 230. So on our calculator, I pushed the wrong button. 4 divided by 230 . Okay, so he bought 1.73 or 1.74 pounds of cashews. What percent of the mixture was cashews? Well, remember it was 4 pounds of almonds. So the total mixture weighed 5.74 pounds. We want to know the percent of the cashews. That's going to be part divided by whole. So that's 1.74 divided by that. So we'll finally find our answer now. These are problems on steroids. I don't look for you to have anything this involved on your EOC. It won't be an easy test, but it won't have this many steps to it. Okay, all right, and you see you get this answer here, and the closest, okay, that you come to is 30%. Because you know to change a decimal to a percent, you move it 2 places. Okay. This is more like the kind of thing that we need to make sure that we know how to do. Okay, we want to know when these folks will have the same amount of money. So all we have to do is set them equal because we want to know when they are the same. Okay, so we can subtract 7.5x. And that gives you 2.5. X plus 5 equal to 25. And then the next step is to subtract 5. 2.5x equal to 20. Divide by 2.5. And so you've got 20 divided by 2.5. Press enter. Okay, and the answer is 8, so you get 8 weeks. Okay, all right, let's see. They want combination of nickels and dimes that could add up to be 65 cents. What is the domain? Where y is a function of x and the total value is 65 cents. Okay, let's see. X is the number of nickels. Y is the number of dimes. Okay, so first of all, if we have 0 nickels, is there any way that you can have just coins in dimes that will make 65 cents? And the answer is no. 6 dimes would make 60 cents, 7 dimes would make 70 cents. So there is no solution. If you have 0 nickels, you're not going to be able to use nickels and dimes and get 65 cents. So automatically you can cross out C and A. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, if X is 1 nickel, that means we got 60 cents left to go. That'd be 6 dimes. If we had 2 nickels, that'd be 10 cents. That would leave us 55 cents. Can we make up 55 cents in just dimes? No, we can't. Okay, if X is 3 nickels is 15 cents. You need 50 cents, so you would need 5 more dimes. Okay, when X is 4, that's 20 cents. You need 45 cents. No way you're going to get that with just dimes. I see a pattern. Okay, look at our pattern. It's going to be odd numbers. And, okay, we're going to go on up. Okay, can't be those even ones because you can't have an even number of nickels. D is going to be the answer. The final answer would be 13. 13 nickels would make 65 cents. You wouldn't need any dimes. So that would be your domain. Okay, all right, this one, okay, don't worry about that one. Shake it off. Okay, this one, okay, is a good one. We want this one. Okay, which one represents the cost of a pizza with n toppings? First of all, if you look here, we've got a sequence going on. That's going up $1.50, $1.50, $1.50. Is that arithmetic or geometric? You're right, that's arithmetic. Okay, and there are two ways that you can do this. First of all, you can do y equal to mx plus b, and we just found out that m was $1.50. In other words, every time you add a topping, they're increasing the price $1.50. You can back this down one if there were no toppings. I guess that would be just like maybe crust and tomato sauce. Okay, with no toppings, they would sell you that. 12 minus 150 would be 10.50. Okay, I don't see that choice over here. But what I do see is, okay, first of all, I know the answer can't be that or that because the rate of changes are not 150. I'm crossing those out. The answer is not B because the y-intercept is 1050. If you have no toppings, zero toppings, it's not $12. It's going to be cheaper than that, $10.50 for that crust and tomato sauce. Okay, let's distribute this one out. Let's see, that'd be 12 plus 1.5 times n would be 1.5n minus 1.5, and then 12 take away 1.5 is 10.50. So that is the answer. Another way that you could have done this problem a whole lot quicker is you realize it's arithmetic. Remember, the formula for arithmetic is A1 plus n minus 1 times the common difference. And in this problem here, A1 means the price for one topping, that's $12, plus n minus 1. Common difference is 150. And you see they just moved it from the back to the front there. They're still multiplying it by n minus 1. Okay, that concludes all of our homework tonight. Thank you for working so hard. I hope that you get some rest, and I'm looking forward to us going ahead and getting this done. Keep working hard. There is only one way to get to your goal, and you know what that is. Also, hang in there. That is not the light at the end of the tunnel we're seeing. That is the end of the tunnel. Good night.